Did you guys happen to see this? So, Sugar Sean O'Malley goes out over the weekend and enters a grappling tournament. It looked to me like it was an IBJJF. Forget who the sanctioning body was, not totally relevant, but it is relevant that it was a tournament, meaning you show up, you put down your entry fee, and you go against whoever they put on the mat with you. Now, there's just a couple of things that I love about this, okay? First off, Sean O'Malley just got his foot hurt. Very relevant to the story. People don't really know where he's at with his training. Secondly, if you're Sean O'Malley and you go put it on the line, even at a little side tournament on Saturday, you just did a lot of things for a lot of people that aren't named Sean O'Malley. I mean, it's a very selfless act. And even though he's trying to get some experience. Yeah, sure, he's trying to go out there and compete. I understand that, but you just helped that event. You just gave a major thrill to whoever you got on the mat with. X's and O's of the match. And I got very nervous watching this, right? Because Sean's got the hurt foot. And we don't know how badly that foot is hurt, but we can all acknowledge he's got a hurt foot. Okay, well, his opponent goes right for the foot. They end up on the ground and they're scrambling and they're rolling around. And I was very impressed with Sean's defense, by the way. Like, there's some positions in jiu-jitsu that you simply aren't going to know where you are. You are simply going to be lost unless you have spent an enormous amount of time working, training, drilling, and executing some of these defenses. So they're going around and around, and Sean's doing everything right, and it's a scramble, but ultimately the guy gets to the foot. Now, I'm watching this go, Sean, tap. I don't care if he has it. That's not what this is about. This gold medal at this tournament, it's about practice. It's about getting a workout in. It's about competing. It's about showing up. It's about bouncing back. These are all wonderful things. But it is not win at all cost. It is compete at all cost when you're in Sean's spot. So the guy started to get it a little deeper, and Sean did have to say, okay, you got me here. But it was just a really cool thing. I mean, it's a very special thing. Imagine you're a spectator at that event. You're largely not there because that's something you want to do, right? I'm a grappling guy. I grew up grappling. I also understood why we grappled in front of next to nobody. Unless you understand and appreciate the sport, or unless you have a storyline as to why this specific match is taking place, there's just not a whole lot to see there. So imagine you're a spectator, you showed up, and all of a sudden Sugar Sean walks on the mat. I can guarantee you nobody patted him on the back and thanked him. I can guarantee you the event organizer never patted him on the back and gave him a t-shirt. They just treated him like everybody else, and that's fine, but I think that Sean does deserve something a little bit more. And I also think that there's a message. Look, there's some guys that just do things right, and you can be very jealous of those guys. Normal human emotion, whether we want to admit it or not. That's a very normal thing. But there's also guys that you can then identify and copy. The fact that Sean O'Malley went out there for nothing, told nobody. This wasn't a social media play or, hey, look at me, I'm trying to get better. He just entered a tournament. There's a tournament, he went and entered the tournament. He gets in a precarious position with a foot that is damaged. He surrenders to the opponent. He gets up like a man. He shakes hands. He walks off, and then he comes back and does it again against the next opponent. It's just a very cool thing. It's a cool thing. It went under the radar, and I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention. The video is out there. I want to say maybe I saw it on Instagram. I would trust that his opponent, who was able to now say, I competed with Sean O'Malley, or the opponent's father. I mean, I would imagine who posted it, but fair game to them. Absolutely. Absolutely, that guy should be proud of himself. Probably a very scary thing to do. Not to mention the guy went out there with a pretty good strategy. You're taking on a guy who's got a bum wheel, go attack the wheel. Great, fair play to that guy, but I would like to tip my hat just to the participation, just for the willingness, just for the pure love of the sport, man. When you get bit by the bug and it's that competitive bug, there's only one way to scratch that itch, and it's to go out there and compete. And to watch some of these guys that you got to beg, or you got to dangle a carrot in front of them, or you got to call their manager or their agent, good luck. If I ever call you and you tell me to call an agent, I will say, okay, I will hang up the phone, but you and I are now no longer doing business.